Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fears that I'm feeling today? If the button is pushed, there's no running away. There's no one to save with the world in the grave. Take a look around you, boy. It's bound to scare you, boy. But you tell me over and over again that you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing all right. Hopefully you're staying safe. It's becoming a less and less safe place to live every day. But yet, just nothing makes sense anymore. You take this park, Whiskey and I's walking on this fresh new sidewalk that was never here before. The plans came about and they wanted to make a great park. They're doing it to all the parks. I've mentioned that before. Smart 21 community. And all the money they're spending on these benches, and I can understand some of them, but there's benches all over the place installed now. Painted up benches, and just right in the entrance. There's like, I don't know, 7 of them right in the entrance. Does that many people need to take a break when they first get into the park before they're actually in it? I don't know. Point is, that's what, of course we need parks and stuff for kids to play and all that, but I don't understand the whole concept of the way they're actually doing it. You know, you could fix up the stuff that needed fixed up, fine. But they didn't do much of that, just installed new stuff that really wasn't needed. And all that's done thanks to the American taxpayers, right? Around here would be the Ohio taxpayers. Meanwhile, the roads are falling to shit, you know? There's so much other stuff that this money could go for. Starving people, and we just don't get it. We humans stay divided and controlled by these outside sources. I don't know, keep us running after ungodly ways all the time. Is what it is. Today, I don't know. I didn't really have too much planned, but woke up this morning, guess what? We're at war with Iran. Hate to do it, but did I not tell you so? Of course, there's enough of you out there that's smart enough that knew this was coming also. But I wish I still had my website, actually, because the truth is, I said back in 2001 that this was going to happen. And I'm not a prophet. That don't make me great, nothing like that. It's a simple matter of I've been paying attention and studying this stuff for years, right? I've always been this way. People that know me personally know that, right? But for most of them years, I knew a lot of people that, yeah, you're stretching it there, you're stretching it there. Well, here we are. You know, nothing happens overnight. They had to build up the case. They couldn't just go and invade Iran for no reason. They had to wait till they could look for an excuse to make it sound good, right? And here we are. Let's get down to that in a minute. Before I do that, I'm trying to make it a policy to shout out other channels and friends who are supportive, and I don't want to miss out anyone, so I might not say it in this video. I'll get you, right? Hopefully. My thing is about sharing the love and support. And one thing, I want to give a shout out to my friend Bubs. He's very instrumental on this channel, right? He follows along, maybe not on everything, but you know, he shows his support, and him, I have two personal friends. He's one of my personal friends, right, that I've known outside of here. We go way back. I miss those times, right, our biker club days. But he's also in the trucking business. But he shares a lot of good information with me that builds on my subjects. And I just want to shout him out right now. Bubs, if you're watching. Because I'm trying to get on this subject we talked about on the phone. And I had a video. And hopefully I'll get back around to. I got to redo it because I have a problem, which one of my other friends has pointed out to me, Tater, that I better take some corrective measures in these videos, right? Sometimes I get a little too heated, and there's certain videos that either get deleted or big chunks of them get deleted out because I get heated up and say stuff that could probably get me buried under the courthouse, right? Come up missing, something like that. But so, but you know, where I'm, you know, making it my goal to shout people out and show the appreciation, I don't want to skip over you, Bubs, because you do help share. Like I said, I got two personal friends that share information with me that help me come up with subject matter for my videos. And it's been a little bit of time now, so I don't want you to think I had a video done, and as I was editing it, I was like, well, certain things I'm saying in there I probably shouldn't say. So we'll get around to it. But don't think that your friendship and support goes unnoticed. But also on that note, I shouted out Sterling Will's channel on my last video. I'll give him a shout out again because I was watching his latest video and he brought up a subject that is interesting. He was at a rest stop in the desert and he took a walk or whatever. He said he got back to his truck and the border patrol was parked by his truck, and then they started questioning him, are you planning on sleeping here tonight and all that? And he said yes, and they said, well, we're trying to advise against it. Nothing's happening yet, but just in case what's going on in Mexico spills over to this side of the border. And that's actually a good wealth of information that he dropped there. You know, sometimes you get information out of other people's videos, or even mine, you know, whatever, that wasn't even the intended point of the video. And that's something we need to pay attention to. Border patrol. So in other words, the government is anticipating the very likely possibility that a Mexican war might spill over across our borders. And it makes sense if you're looking at everything that's going on and how they're trying to poke the bear, right? In order, you know, you want to bring this country to the knees, well, get yourself involved in wars on all fronts. Because then when destruction happens to us, we don't have to blame the people responsible because we are too confused to know where the responsibility is. But, you know, on that note, Bubs, you should consider doing a YouTube channel as well, unless you are and I'm unaware of it. But, you know, you got a lot of times the stuff you share and your opinions on stuff, you could be sharing that in the videos while you're doing your thing. And I don't know, just a suggestion, whatever. I happen to think to myself, why aren't you doing videos? You could, right? Whatever. So then, I guess we're going to get to this, talk a little bit about this war that just started with Iran. And, but then, like, you know, before we do that, we'll finish the shout outs. And so I want to also give a shout out to Carney's Ride. Check out his channel. I have a link above for all these channels. Check out his channel, and by all means, Carney's, you know, biker related content, but that's not all he does, just like the rest of us. I'm shouting out Carney today because he is, one, I've gotten to know him a little bit. I mean, we don't know each other that greatly, right? But I can tell he's the kind of guy, I wish, you know, hopefully when I get another bike or whatever, I plan on even, so hopefully sometime this summer, I'll get over to their club that's over here in Ohio. It's not too far from me, actually. And come to find out, the guys I used to ride with actually take part in some of their stuff, and I didn't realize that. But Carney's instrumental here on YouTube and I know a lot of you guys already know who he is, but for those who don't, check out his channel. And he's very supportive of everyone and instrumental in helping bring us all together. Like I've said in the past, where I've met some of these guys off Mike Ball's channel, and then also Motobomb's channel, and but it's a great community. But Carney deserves a shout out and some recognition by all means, because he's supportive of everyone as much as he can be, and he's putting in the work to his channel. I've noticed that for a long time now, and sometimes this stuff's a slow process, but he deserves the support, especially because he gives as much support as he can to everybody else. And you know, check him out and give him a sub, and let him know I sent you. Any of these people you check out, if you don't already know them and you're checking out their channel and subscribing to them, that you found them from me, let these guys know, you know, that I sent you. But also, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I've always been a Harley only guy. And now when it gets time, here not too long ago, I mentioned that before, I was gonna get a bike. Instead, I chose to invest in equipment for my music, trying to invest in myself. And that was a rough choice, because I had it in my grips to get a decent bike, Harley, right? But I used to be Harley only. But after getting to know Carney a little bit, it's really opened my eyes to Indian. And I've been upset with Harley Davidson as a company for a long time. And I'll surely never buy a brand new one. If I won the lottery today, I wouldn't buy a brand new one, I don't think. Who knows? You can't say for sure, but I don't, maybe a brand new Indian, right? And I'm not saying I totally support the ways of Indian either. As a company, I don't know them as well as Harley. But the point is, I used to just automatically shut it out if I thought about Indian motorcycles. You got a buddy talking to you? What's he saying to you? What's he saying to you? Hey, Whiskey, come over here. Come over here and talk to me. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, it was, if the day would come that I end up buying an Indian, Carney's ride would have a little bit to do with that. Because I really, right, that's what made me started considering Indian. Anyways, so all you guys, we shout out, we appreciate you. All our subscribers, we appreciate you, by all means. We get heated up over here, is what it is. We're trying to work on that. But, as always, we don't want nobody to take nothing personal in case anything strikes a nerve. And, whatever. If we didn't get to you on a shout out, don't worry. We're going to try to get to, we'll get to you eventually, right, on the videos. And I'm just trying to get back in that habit. I don't know if I should do them in the beginning of the video or the end of the video, whatever. We're just doing things the only way we know how. And we don't know how, so we're just doing it. Right? Let's get on with it. We didn't do too bad keep from getting too heated up in the last video, so kind of proud of myself on that one. And but it is what it is if we do. It's funny because I have an issue with so-called Christians, right? I want to make clear going forward in this conversation, I don't hate Jews, right? At all. I'll say my opinion about stuff, but that's not attacking all Jews, right? It's Zionism, the fake Jew stuff that's going on of the people that are in charge of Israel is where my issue is, right? So we're not here to hate anyone. We hate powers and principalities of evil. But I get heated up sometimes, and I'll drop some of them F-bombs, right? And some other words sometimes. And then suddenly these people call themselves Christians, and they can't handle that, right? Oh, I'm such a sinner because I dropped an F-bomb. And I'm not trying to totally defend it. These are things I'm working on. But one thing you won't catch me doing is using God's name in vain. You won't hear me saying like the words together, goddamn, unless I'm saying it for what it is, like God damns this, right? But I'm not using it as a cuss word for myself, even though we've all grown up around that stuff. I'm not saying JC unless I'm praising Jesus Christ, right? And that's just me. To me, those were the two worst ways to cuss, using God's name in vain. God tells us that, right? But I got fellow Christians, most of them think they're better Christian than me or whatever, right? And suddenly, right? Oh, the world's gonna end, you're gonna burn in hell because you dropped an F-bomb. I don't think it works that way, right? Because these same people claim to be saved and all that, and GD and JC drop out of their mouths constantly, but they don't see that as cussing, foul language or whatever, right? It's all about, I'm not better than no one, and I can also be corrected. I don't expect anyone to just take everything I say as fact. I'm just dropping things the way I see them. And it's up to everyone else to do their due diligence to form, to look into it. Oh, is he right or is he wrong? If I find that he's wrong, I'm, whatever. And it's fine for people to point out where I'm wrong. We all learn that way. But let's get down to it. Let's talk about this war with Iran. What could we say? We all knew it was coming, right? Do not be deceived. We all knew this was coming. I certainly did. And I know most of the people I know knew it. And here we are. Take note. I don't think this is going to end quickly and quietly. And it's possible that America might be overstepping its bounds. They want to say, it's to protect Americans and all this and that. You're protecting Americans. We got to do this to protect Americans. Why? Because you started a war, and now your excuse is they're going to bomb American assets? Well, we shouldn't be there, right? We shouldn't have, right? But you don't get to use that excuse. You're the ones starting it for your friends, Israel, right? I'm talking about our people at the top. We're being lied to and deceived about it. We have been for years. See, in 1948, the Synagogue of Satan was established in Israel, right? That we now call Israel. And they, false Jews infiltrated Jewism, or whatever you want to call it, right? But what we don't realize is right here in America, the same exact thing has happened. Christian Zionism / Christian nationalism has crept in and created a false Christianity. Christians are telling you to support this war, support death and destruction, because we have to defend Israel. They're God's people. Because somewhere, my Bible is missing it, but somewhere it's in there that those people are God's people. They're going to heaven. And if we don't do exactly what they demand, we're going to hell. Right? That's what Jesus has called us for. It's not missing from my Bible. It's not in the Bible. It's a lie, right? Of course, that's all we're doing is being lied to. I have an issue. I get in these arguments with these atheists lately, right? And I don't want to keep going on about that. They claim to be atheists, but yet they burn sage. They have dream catchers. They use divination, right? Well, that's not atheism. That's still believing in some kind of spiritual thing, right? If you believe, then by doing so, you're acknowledging the spiritual realm. You're acknowledging good versus evil. Well, understand then, by your own actions, you are acknowledging God exists, and you're just blatantly choosing to turn away from God, right? Now, hold on just a minute. Before we go any further, I've got to take some advice from my friend Tater. Pointed this out, and I've done this once on Facebook when all my problems first started. Hold on, calm down. Let's not do it today. But I want to make clear that I have no intentions on taking any long vacations where no one can find me. Or harming myself. And it's a good idea that I make that clear today, because of a lot of stuff I'm saying, especially against these people, right? Calling them out on their stuff. And, the very people that are lying to us and bringing death and destruction for political gain and wealth, well, those people all start somewhere, and where they are is your local communities, right? And right here in Defiance, I've mentioned in a video before, there's several things of suspicious stuff going on here. People end up gone, right? So it's not above them at all. Just want to throw that out there, just in case, right? Because indeed, these people in this building back here behind me are murderous, evil thugs sacrificing to their God, living off the flesh of newborns, right? But we got right here Whiskey. Our buddy Whiskey, he don't do that kind of stuff. What he likes, what tastes good to him, is the flesh of lawyers, judges, prosecutors, and crooked cops. Hey, don't blame me for it. That's just Whiskey's preference. He's vicious. And he's looking for you. Sniffing you out. Otherwise, normal people, he loves them. Let's stay on subject here, right? So, now that we got that out of the way, I had to make sure I threw that in there, and then I forgot, and then I was like, well, that's okay, because we're about to walk up by the courthouse anyways, right? So let's talk, let's consider what's going on in Iran, this war in Iran. Maybe you're for it, maybe you're against it. Christian leaders, I'm saying, right? The leaders of the church should not be telling you, oh, well, this is what's best for Israel, so we need to support it. We're going to be judged for that. Even though likely God is allowing this stuff and using it to his advantage to fulfill his purpose. It is what it is, right? Still, that don't mean that he's made clear how he calls us to live, right? And that we are his people. If the Jews want to be his people, I mean that there's plenty that accept him, right? So it's not all, right? But if those people want to accept him, they're more than welcome. They want to claim to be his people, let them. What matters to me is I'm trying to straighten myself out, get myself in line with God. And so what I need to worry about is what God tells me, not what God tells Israel. What God wants for me, not what God wants for Israel, as we know it, the land that's over there now, right? A big difference from that and the real, true Israel. And I'm not saying any of them, that all of them are not true Israelites or Jews, right? The thing is, this has been going on and on and on, and they tell us, well, these are holy wars, religious wars. This has been going on for centuries. But the truth is, it's always a holy or religious war, right? Always. Always is. Every nation has their gods. You can say, oh, everyone's, all these, every nation, leaders have their gods, right? So it's always a religious war. The thing is, the family that installed the Balfour Declaration, you can check into that and that'll verify what I'm telling you if you want to research on that, right? These, the Rothschilds, disgusting Rothschilds, have used their money that they stole from everybody already and used their money and influence to take that land, right? And then they started declaring it Jew land and saying they are, I'm not saying no real Israelis are there, I'm saying the Rothschilds are not true Jews. They are Canaanites. And they are sick and disgusting. And if America should be dropping bombs anywhere, I'll say it. You can put me on record and I'll admit it in court, right? Because it's not a crime, but they want to pretend it is. Our bombs should be dropping right on every Rothschild and Rockefeller there is. Take them out. That's where our tax dollars should be going. Once again, I repeat, I have no intentions on taking vacations or harming myself. These piece of shit scum need to be removed. They're saying it about you, but you don't dare say it about them. I will. But they're little bitches, right? Like, they won't step up to you personally. No, they'll send troops that are bought and paid for to come and get you, right? ICE agents or whatever cops, right? Because, oh, yeah, we got to bow down to the rich and powerful. Not, oh, you are an American with freedom to say whatever you want, right? And we should be defending Americans and not rich, powerful scumbags. But as you and I know, that's not the way it goes. God's people, hold on. Salvation is coming, and the truth is coming. The biggest point I want, you can make your own opinions about this Iran war, right? I already many times say how I feel about it. The real issue at hand is, let's pay attention where we are on the biblical timeline. People say biblical times, we're always in biblical times, always, right? And this is what gets me about the people that want to argue against God. All of this is foretold and it's happening right before our eyes. Trust me, it's not long now that what this is really ultimately about is the excuse to bomb the Dome of the Rock, right? It took me long enough to get to there, right? The Dome of the Rock, in case you don't know what that is, that's in Israel and Jerusalem. And it's where originally Solomon's temple stood. Then it was tore down, and then it was rebuilt. And then it was tore down again, as Jesus said it would be, that it would be destroyed. Not one rock left standing, one brick left standing, right? And there will be a cease to sacrifices. And somehow Christians can't see, open the Bible and see, and look at history also, connect the dots, that there's already been an end to sacrifice. There hasn't been sacrifice there in how many thousands of years? But the Canaanites, their God, the devil, wants that temple rebuilt because he's trying to be like God. So he wants the temple rebuilt so he can claim that temple and that mountain for himself. You know, and once he does that, goodbye, everything's done, right? That's when it all unravels. So what we need to pay attention to right now, any minute now, it could be today, it could be a month from now, it could be the end of the year, right? I kind of believe it'll be this year. Maybe not. Maybe, you know, the stuff might go a little slower than we think or quicker than we think. But rest assured, they're going to destroy the Dome of the Rock. Why? So they can rebuild the temple. So anyways, I mean, to confirm some of this stuff, just look, we have our American citizens with dual citizenship and some Israelis with dual citizenship, right? That's a crock of shit if you ask me. Where else do we get dual citizenship, right? Oh, because, you know, technically we came from the Jews and they're our people and we're their people. It's all a bunch of nonsense. And because these people with the dual citizenship are not America first, they're not America anything. What Netanyahu, another POS, says they do, right? And they, over there, the ones in control of Israel, think that Trump is anointed to do their work, right? Sent to them by God. Right? So we got so many Christians over here acting like, and this ain't to get into, you can like Trump if you want, whatever, right? It's not, it's to point out the truth and to just consider it. Christians, right? Oh, Trump was chosen by God. He saved his life in that assassination attempt. Like, we can't see that that was faked. And I got people argue with me. How do you think they could fake that? Easily. I did a video where I did it myself, right? It's just whatever. But that's how it is, right? All these people with the dual citizenship, they are Israel first. What Israel wants, what's good for Israel, not America. And not God. They're fulfilling God's will through their evil ways, as it was told, but they will pay for it. Now, I mean, I assure you what I'm saying is mostly accurate. I might not word it as well as other people or whatever, but I'm also not trying to subscribe to all the attitudes that, or different opinions included with some of that I'm talking about, that certain major channels share. Because I'll take the facts from them, but then when they start putting in their own opinions that don't line up properly, then I separate from it. But I mean, consider you have Netanyahu sitting here quoting to us the Bible to get us to follow them. pretty sure they're trying to drop a bomb on me. We got out of the way fast enough. So I'm just saying, right? That's clue. That's a big clue. Pete Hegseth, an Israeli, not an American, obviously, right? He's obviously not an American, according to this new information. Their goal is to destroy the Dome of the Rock. To me, I don't care, right? And that is so they can build the third temple. Because they're dead set on getting that third temple built. They're dead set on ushering in the Antichrist. This is what they want. They want their God to win. And that's what I'm saying is just what you need to pay attention to. When the Dome of the Rock is destroyed and they begin building the third temple, now you know you better do a lot of praying, right? Now you know the time is up. Now you know there's only a few years left. Anyways, that's about all I got for now. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about all this? Or just say hello to whiskey. And by all means, if you think I'm wrong or missing something, let me know. This is just some quick thoughts I had. I didn't even watch all the information. I just seen that we started bombing Iran overnight or this morning, whenever it was. But right before last night, before I even realized that, I knew it was coming. Like I said that in one of the other videos, because all the stuff they sent, all the stuff over there, we were guaranteed that it was going to start. But then last night, I seen this thing about Hegseth, right? All this is coming together, and we just need to know where to look and put all the pieces together. Hopefully you have a great day. Hopefully you're staying safe. And let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments, for that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work to judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.